Hi everyone, welcome back to Arranging with Judy. Today I went out in the garden and I cut probably the last of the pink and lavender and blue flowers that I have. It's one of my favorite combinations. And so I am going to do it in this metal vase. It's a vintage metal vase. And I'm going to do it with no mechanics at all. I'm going to just show you the best way to build your flowers up so that you don't need to put chicken wire or tape or any of those things in there, okay? So I'm going to start out with some silvery gray artemisia that I just pulled out of the herb garden. And I wish I would have cut this like 2 weeks ago and dried it, because now it's blooming and it's not quite as pretty silvery gray as it was. But it's perfect for this arrangement. So I'm just going to start with just a loose outline around the outside of this vase. And I'm crisscrossing my stems in here so that they'll form a grid and they'll hold each other up. They'll hold the next set of stems up. So I'm going to do this first. And I'll probably have about 6 placements around the outside. If you've seen any of my videos, you know that I always say you need 5 points to make a circle, a minimum of 5. So I usually end up with 6. Sometimes I end up with 8, but they're crisscrossing stems. I might put one more in. And they're going to hold each other up. Okay, then I have some lamb's ears that does the same kind of a thing, and I think I'll put these lamb's ear leaves in now so that they will drape over the side a little bit too. And I'm putting them in between my artemisia foliage. I'm saving a little bit of this artemisia foliage for up in, you know, the center of the arrangement. So I'll just place these in. This time of year, the lamb's ears is thinking, should I try this again? You know, should I get some more blossoms on? I just had one of these that's just trying really hard to just put a couple more blossoms out for me. I don't know if it'll make it. I don't know, they were saying that it's supposed to be, you know, in the 70s next week, so maybe we'll still have a little bit of lamb's ears. Maybe we'll still have a few flowers too. I have a lot of buds out there still. They're trying. Okay, I have some beautiful little limelight hydrangeas here that are just turning a really soft pink. And I think I want to put these in next so that I have some bulk at the base of my container. And I also have that color started, that pinky greeny color started. So I'll put these in here. And I have a couple of a little bit larger ones that I want to put in here too that aren't quite as green, but they have that pinky tinge to them. Is this one too? This one's pretty big. That one might be too big. We'll see if I can use it. All right, so, and I'm just repeating this same, you know, pattern. Just going around the outside of the vase. And then I'm going to put these two kind of in deep on either side of that one. So I'm just sort of starting to build up, you know, a mounded type arrangement. And then I have some lovely sedum, autumn joy sedum, that has just gotten the prettiest shade of pink right now. It'll turn kind of a bronze later on, but it goes from green to a real pale pink to this very rich kind of raspberry pink, and then finally into the bronze color. I'm going to, because these are a finer material, I'm going to let these drape out a little further than the hydrangea did. because I want to build, you know, a larger arrangement than just what the hydrangeas gave me. Let's see if I can get this one in here. So I'll just keep going in between the last placements with these. It's giving me a lot of texture here too. I like the different, you know, fuzzy leaves and the smoother leaves of the sedum, and the color changes. All right, I have a couple more sedums over here, but I'm going to wait until I get a little more in here before I put these top placements in. I only have 2 of these purple cleomes, and I think they're going to go towards the top too. But I think I'll start with these gorgeous zinnias that are, oh, they might be too heavy to put in yet. I'll give it a try. Sometimes if you put your heavier placements in too soon, they won't stay. You know, the grid that you're forming with your stems won't hold them. So we'll see. This might work. I have 4 of these. This one is just going to, this one, look, okay. There is no way I can make this stand up straight. It might just look kind of funky, you know, if I leave it. I could cut this off right here and let this, you know, lie more horizontally. But we can try it doing a funky thing and see what it does. It might be fun. And then put this one over here. So I've just like bridged that pattern that I started with my sedum. I've bridged it with my zinnias. So they're coming out more now. Okay, so I have the larger sedums. I could put these in next, or I could put my cleome in. I think I'll put these in next. Let's see if they'll work. Okay. And they're just going to go around and in between the zinnia placements now, just to fill that in and to make it a little more solid. Okay, let me flip this around. You can see what I'm doing there. And then this one will go over on this side. Oh dear, I think this was my last one too, and it's a little bit broken. We'll see if it'll fit in here okay. All right, then I think I want to put my fennel in next, so I can get a little bit more of that wispy green color. Oh, you know what? No, I think I need to get the gray in first. Let's put this placement of Dusty Miller right up here, and I'll put one on either side of it, and then I'll take the rest of that artemisia and I'll put that in. So see how by placing those stems crisscrossing right at the very beginning, you've started a grid that'll hold everything in place. Okay, we'll get this gray in here and then we'll get the green in. I have this one really gorgeous lamb's ear I'm going to tuck in right here. So I have some of that velvety texture up there too. Now I'll put the green in. And this, because it's a finer material, this can project out beyond the whole pattern. It'll give you a real light kind of whimsical quality to it. I'll start with one at the top and then one on each side, and then I'll just kind of broaden that line as much as I can. Depends on how many of these stems I have. So I'll just start broadening that. Whenever you're not sure, if you're going to have enough, start at the top and then make a line, and then you can just broaden that line right here. There's another little one over here that I can put over here. You don't always have a ton of flowers in the yard, but it's fun to take what you do have and see what you can make out of it. Okay, and then one over here. And then I can put those two little cleomes in at the top. Come on. I'm almost getting like too many stems in here now. There we go. And then, sometimes I've heard people say that flowers don't last as long in a metal container. And that's sort of true. The thing is that the Floralife, the flower preservative packets, that you put in the water, those are not effective in a metal container. So that's why your flowers don't last as long. But I've kept flowers in this container for a week, and they look fine. So I wouldn't be afraid to use a metal container if I were you. It's just, there's no point in using the Floralife packet or floral preservative because it's not going to help, So now I have this really just smashing salvia that I got out of my pots. I'm telling you, this time of year, my pots know their days are numbered and that they're going to end up with mums in them. And so they are just trying their hardest to stay as beautiful as they possibly can, so I won't replace them. But I just cut this out of a pot, It's kind of amazing. All right, and so we'll tuck these in. Then we have, it's kind of I think I would call this an analogous color combination with the pinks and the lavenders and the red violets and the blue violets. And it looks kind of romantic in this metal urn, doesn't it? So I'm just going through with these placements now and just going in between, following the same pattern, but in between the fennel and the zinnias and the sedum. And I've done this whole thing without oasis or chicken wire or vase tape. It'll work, I promise. And I hear these horror stories of sea creatures that have oasis stuck inside of them, and I think we have to change things. We can't keep going like we are. So let's go back to, the way, back when I went to floral design school, and I've said this before, we had to make our arrangements 3 times, and we had to make them once in chicken wire, once in rolled cedar, and once in oasis. And when they taught us that, I thought, this is such a waste of time because nobody uses chicken wire anymore, and nobody uses, rolled cedar in a funeral piece anymore. Everybody uses oasis, so why should I learn this? But boy, am I glad I did. Because we're all being, awakened to the fact that we got to change. All right, so I think that I am currently, I do have a little bit more fennel that I could tuck in. Or I have, I've been using this Love in a Puff like crazy. And this would be very romantic looking too, and very whimsical too in this arrangement. If I just put it in and just let it kind of trail around the bottom or up and over. Let's see. I like this stuff so much. We can just kind of make a cage out of it. Let's see. I mean, I don't know if this is a Victorian flower. The fact that it's called Love in a Puff, it has a seed inside it that has a heart on it. It has, most of the pods have 3 seeds in them. And the name sounds Victorian, you know, like, you know, Kiss Me Over the Garden Gate and, you know, Love Lies Bleeding and all of these names that they used to have for the flowers that were popular back then. I'm wondering, maybe we should do a little research on Love in a Puff and see if it's from that, that name is from that era. Yeah, this makes it kind of fun, doesn't it? It's a little whimsical. So, right here. So all of this went in, and it's all securely attached. And oh, if I just, you know, thought about it for a minute, that sort of looks like a heart, doesn't it? and no mechanics. So you can do this. Just take it step by step and start out crisscrossing your stems at the base of the container, and then it builds a grid, and you can just start putting your building up to the top of your arrangement. And if you have any questions about this, put them in the comments. I always answer questions. And if you like this and you want more gardening goodness, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.